Well, another day, another link to Rangers, another transfer rumour. You know what? They seem to be coming thick and fast. The latest one is a one I've got to say I really like this one. This is a quality one. This is a really good one. Now we know that Nils Koppen is spreading his net far and wide in the attempt to trawl in a plethora of superstar players from all over the world for Rangers in this current rebuild, a rebuild that just got very complicated and very full on after the news yesterday about Bisgrove leaving the club. So where's he going now? What's he looking at? Well, he's back in the South American market. It does appear that Rangers are really targeting the South American market this summer, that the South American market is very lucrative. It is a business where you can pick up players for very cheap transfer fees, but players of very high technical ability and also very, very good footballers. Now, one of the things that's always leveled at South American players in terms of, some of them in terms of the Brazilians, for example, and some of the others, is their lack of physicality, their lack of ability to sort of instantly move over to the European style. But, you look at some of the South American leagues, Argentina, Uruguay, for example, and there is a real element of physicality in those leagues. I don't think you can ever accuse Uruguayan players or Argentinian players of lacking a physicality, lacking a fight, lacking a bite, lacking an ability to get stuck in. Their reputation certainly goes before them when it comes to physicality. Well, the latest player that has been linked with a move to Rangers, and this one could be a goer, is Daniel Garcia, who is a Uruguayan central defensive midfield player. Now we are, I think, with the likely departure of John Lundstrom, of Ryan Jack, we don't really have someone who is a true six, a destroyer, a smasher-upper, someone who can destroy opposition attacks and then use the ball well once he has destroyed that attack. And Garcia certainly fits that mold. He is someone who is not afraid of a tackle. He's not afraid to get stuck in. He's not afraid to kick and fight and battle. He's Uruguayan, for goodness sake. Let's face it. Like I said, go and watch some Uruguayan football. Go and watch Uruguay play. Even under Marcelo Bielsa, who is the Uruguayan manager, they're still not afraid to actually get in there and have a battle. Now, what do we know about Garcia? We know that he plays for Peñarol in Uruguay, one of Uruguay's top teams, and he has been the subject of a number of contract disputes this season. Now he has only just broken through into their first team. He played a lot of time for their under-18s, their under-20s, before breaking through in March of this year to their full team. He made 11 appearances in the Primera División with 1 assist, 2 yellow cards, and went on to make 6 appearances in the Copa de Libertadores, which is obviously their version of the Champions League. So he's obviously already built up a little bit of experience across a high standard league and a very high standard cup competition. He's someone who is very young, very up and coming, very promising. Again, is looking as well as he's a Uruguayan under-20 international, has played for the Uruguayan under-20 team. Certainly someone that Bielsa has been looking at in terms of the future of the Uruguayan side. He's played over 1,000 minutes of football this season in the first division. Now, he's 20 years old. So again, he is someone who is one for the future, who is one who can come in, I think, and make an instant impact. He's shown the fact that he has played very well for Peñarol. He's played well in the Copa de Libertadores against some very good teams. He's got that experience already to come in and actually make a difference in the Scottish League, and I think also in Europe as well. He's just under 6 foot. He is a right-footed defensive midfielder, and he's under contract until 2024, December 2024. So he has got a very limited time left on his deal, around 6 months, therefore meaning there could be a good fee to be had here. Transfer market, for example, estimates his value at around €1.5 million, which is about £1.25 million roughly, given exchange rates fluctuate daily. Now, he is also a player that has been subject to contract disputes with Peñarol, not out of his making. The fact that he's made his breakthrough to the first team, he is very much still paid as a youth player. Even reports of the fact that he struggles to make his rent and pay his rent in his native Uruguay, and his mum has to be a domestic cleaner to help pay the family's rent. So he's certainly someone whose wages would not be excessive, but I think if we could certainly put together a attractive proposition in terms of wages for this young lad, he would certainly be very interested in coming to Glasgow. He's a player who has ambitions to go and play in Europe. has ambitions to, further his career. And I think, a lot of Uruguayan players, if they want to become successful, if they want to become future stars, do see Europe as being the place to go. Now, there is interest from elsewhere in the world in Damian Garcia. Those interests are coming from the MLS, which, as we know, the MLS is a retirement league, and Mexican league. Now, look, not been funny, not been arrogant, not been rude, but look, these are leagues that we should be knocking into next week. Yes, I understand that the Mexican league and the MLS have some money behind them, but in terms of standards, in terms of level of competition, we have so much more that we can offer than the retirement league or the joke league that is the MLS. I mean, let's face it, if you want to retire, if you want to become to get your final payday, the MLS is the place to go, isn't it? Whereas, if you want to look at furthering your career, Europe is the place to go to extend, to really launch your career. And if he comes to Rangers, if he is a success, which there seems to be a very good suggestion that he will be, this is the place where he can pick up suitors from across Spain, where Uruguayan players often do well, Germany, Italy, the EPL, for example, going on to earn bigger wages, huge transfer fees, etc., etc. Now, look, I know it's bad that we're talking like this in terms of the fact of bringing in players to sell and so on. But the problem is, I think, for Rangers now is that we're very much working in that market where we have to to really take on this aggressive trading model to make money, because the Scottish League does not have the income revenue streams that obviously that the EPL does, that the Serie A does, that La Liga does. And we need to find a way to compete, and bringing in players, improving them, developing them, playing them for 18 months to 2 years, and then selling them on is the way to go. And if we can get the best out of them in that period, and we can win things and extend our runs in Europe through their ability, then albeit, But Garcia does seem like a very talented player, a destroyer, uses the ball well, he's quick, he's young, he's hungry to succeed. He certainly seems like the sort of player we need at the club. Well, guys, let me know what you think of this player, Garcia. Like I said, he's Uruguayan, so I don't think physicality is going to be a major issue. Thank you for watching Glasgow Rangers Nation, guys. As always, if you can, please, obviously hit that sub, help the channel to keep on growing. And two things, what I'm going to say. Smash the like, beat the algorithm. And number two, remember always, we are the people.